Hello and welcome to yet another episode of your favorite podcast series, Success Decoded by Startup Monk. Today, with us on the podcast is Mr. Mihir Gadhvi, an entrepreneur, graphic designer, and digital marketer who would be sharing anecdotes about his journey with us today. He's the founder of Media and Illustrake, a graphic design agency. So, Mihir, could you just tell our audiences a bit about yourself, your background, and how you got started into entrepreneurship basically?
Firstly, I want to thank you guys for inviting me for the podcast.
Absolutely.
And we started back in 2016 when we were in college. It
Okay.
was our first year of college in 2016. So me and three of my friends started this blog known as 3news.com.
Okay.
So we were not having any idea about blogging or marketing. So we just did a Google search about the same, and we found some articles from Shout Me Loud, which is a famous blog,
Yeah.
which teaches about blogging and entrepreneurship. So
Absolutely.
we started blogging. There were no income source for our starting 2 years, and we got a email on our blog saying like we were creating blog banners. So one guy from UK like our blog banners, and he ordered us a graphic designing work. So
Okay.
this was the first time we got an order, which was unknowingly.
Okay.
So the message was like, hey, like the guy emailed us like, hey, excellent work. Would you guys take extra work from outside? So we were like, yeah, we can do it. So we earn our first dollar from graphic designing via our blog. But
Okay.
eventually our blog was not making any money
Yeah.
bec- because it was early days.
Absolutely. So, Mihir, were you guys did you learn all these graphic designing and other things on the go, or these were something that you had already learned previously and now were using to, get projects from outside?
No, no, no. Basically, we started from our school days, so
Okay.
we haven't done any course or what to say, any degree in any specific thing. So
Mhm.
we used to do trial, like try new things out, and it was
Mhm.
kind of trial and error thing. So we learned designing just to create those blog banners for our blogs. So
Okay.
later on, people started ordering us. Like they used to like our blog, and they started ordering us. We got orders from KW Finder, which is a famous keyword research tool,
Yeah.
and we later on got orders from big brands like Shell and Kalyan Jewelers.
Okay. Hmm. So, as you said, you guys got projects from Kalyan Jewelers. So, could you just tell our audiences about how you went through that phase? Like, what was the process of finally getting to that project and, bagging it and then working on it? And eventually, what was the outcome of that project?
So Kalyan Jewelers has its own online store known
Yeah.
as Candier.
Yeah.
So those guys were looking for an animator to create a video, 2D video for their brand Candier, which
Mhm.
is an online store of Kalyan Jewelers.
Yeah.
So we were referred by one of the growth hackers, Rohan Chaube. So
Yeah.
he referred us by seeing our past work. Like we were quite active on social media. So that guy referred us to them, and we bang on the project. The CEO was quite impressed after seeing our age. Like we were around 23, and we did that video for them.
And this was exactly how many years ago?
This was like 2017.
Okay. Just 2 years back.
Yeah, 2 years back.
Mhm. So, Mihir, how long have you been working as a social media and brand strategist basically, and how did you get started with basically the brand strategy side of things?
So after blogging, I realized like blogging is not my thing completely. So I
Mhm.
hand over those things to my teammates. And later on like after doing the Kalyan project, I was working with many other brands on the local level. So I strategized things for many local companies to increase the ROI.
Okay. So, how what were the key learnings that you got from working with those local groups and all? Because now that you're working with bigger brands, so what was the one learning that transcended from working with, say, local groups and small businesses to someone then graduating basically towards the bigger brands?
So in the early stage, we were like not looking for any brands. We were just looking for work, work, and work. So that was the thing. And basically, it's more what to say, professionally good, or what to say, easy to work with bigger brands as compared to a small or medium-sized enterprise.
Absolutely.
So because they have, but for getting in with the big brands, it's quite hard. You have to show them the proof, like you have the capability and you can do the work for them. And you have to get the right connections, because without connections, you cannot get big brands.
Absolutely, absolutely. So while working with all these SMBs and local groups, did you face any problem at any point of time which might have discouraged you, or say something like a monetary problem? Because like a lot of small businesses, I'm not demeaning them, but they tend to save a lot on working with like on social media and all. So did you face any such problem?
So this scenario is same with the small and big brands both. All enterprises try to save money on something.
Absolutely.
So this is not the scenario only with the small brands. The big brands also try to save on money with other like whatever they can save on.
Absolutely.
So in the starting days, we were offering quite low prices as compared to now. Like the prices are gone almost 5x now.
Okay.
Of our services. But now after having a credibility, brand can easily invest us. Like we have case studies and we have social proof to show them like we have something and you can trust us. So nowadays we don't bargain with brands, or nor the brands are bargaining with us.
Absolutely. So what are the current services that you are providing under the Illustrake and Three Media umbrella brand?
So Three is our in-house project. On Three we do blogging, we do tech videos, and there are reviews which we provide on Three, or it is all about technology and latest trends on social media.
Absolutely.
And for Illustrake, we are providing services like 2D animation videos, logos, social media services, website development, and more into the motion graphic and UI UX part.
Okay. So, Mihir, how does a usual day at work look like for you? Like, what's the whole process of going to the office and all, and what's the current team size at both? Like how many people are working with Illustrate, and then on the other hand, Three as well. Like, what's the current team size?
So the total team size is 20. Few of them operate from Kerala. Like I have 3 team members at Kerala, and other are situated at the Mumbai office.
Okay.
So we have divided, like Three team is around 10 people and Illustrake is around 10.
So basically, you guys work from it's a remote team.
No, it's not completely remote team. Like we have our headquarters at Mumbai.
Okay.
So the core team is situated at Mumbai. Like around 12 people are at Mumbai and other are remotely workers. They are mostly content writers. For the blog.
Okay. So could you just walk us through the journey of starting Illustrake and Three Media? As you said, you were working at college level and then slowly graduated to starting up your own venture. So how did the idea come up to you, and what was the whole process like of starting something of your own as apart from freelancing?
So like we were never doing any freelancing. So we started in 2015. Like we were 6 school friends who decided to build their own music website. And the website was quite hit, and we got 5,000 daily users. but we were not being in school. We were not knowing about like it is illegal to make a website and give shareable links of music companies. Like we
Yeah,
were
copyrighted content basically.
yeah, copyrighted content. So we got in like somebody give us like an idea. It was not legal, so we shut it down, and the team got divided into three people, and
Okay.
other three like just left because we were not making any money
Hmm.
because it was illegal content.
Hmm.
So later on, we started another blog known as Intro Venue.
Okay.
So this blog was hacked by an Russian hacker.
Okay.
So like we were damn demotivated at that time because we were not earning anything and we don't have funds to what to say to buy hosting and domain.
Yeah.
But somehow from the what to say Diwali greetings, we received some money. It was
Mhm.
around 99 rupees domain and 3000 or 2000 rupees hosting we got, and we started Freenius.com.
Okay.
So being in school, like 11th, 12th standard, it was
Yeah.
quite difficult to have any money to spend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then we started Freenius.com. We were not earning anything in the initial 1.5 year through
Mhm.
blogging. We got some orders of graphic designing via our blog. As I said earlier, a guy like our design and he orders the banners from us. So we
Yeah.
were earning $5 to $10 per month, but it was nothing like a big amount to survive.
Yeah, it's much lesser in the Indian rupee when it's converted into the Indian rupee. So it's like
Yeah,
currently it
yeah,
would be anywhere around like $700 per month.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nothing for the first 2 years, but then later on our blog just boom up, and we
Mm-hmm.
were ranking like almost every content on our blog started ranking. So we started earning like the traffic was around 5,000 daily visitors, and now it is around 6,000 to 7,000 daily visitors.
So how did you guys like move from that phase where you were like earning next to nothing from the blog, and like the reach was also not there, considerable reach, and now as you said it's like around 7 to 6,000 hits per week. So
No, it's
um,
6,000 per day.
per day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So how? What was the secret sauce of like? I should say the secret sauce that you cracked the code and then basically your content started doing good.
yeah, so like we were firstly publishing about WordPress and SEO,
Mm-hmm.
and later on we started publishing about social media, app listings, and all other things. And Google usually it usually takes time to do the SEO part. It usually takes 5 to 6 months to rank a particular website on a particular keyword.
Absolutely.
So that was the what to say process like we were going through. We were doing SEO, we were doing on page, off page, both things, and we were also trying to build some backlinks. And I was doing social media sharing daily. So all those things help the blog to grow to a certain level where it
Mhm.
is now.
Okay. So, like in the initial days, you guys were writing all the content yourself for the blog.
Yeah, like we three, like two guys were writing the content. My other partner, Satyansh Tiwari and
Mm-hmm.
Prakash Srivastav, were writing the content, doing the SEO part and creating the blog banners. We were doing it ourselves because we were working from our home.
Okay.
So we were after like our college, like we used to get back to home around 10 or 12, and then we started working for a whole day.
Okay. Hmm. So, Mihir, as a marketeer, what have been some factors that you have observed over the years which have like contributed to the success of a large chunk of, say, maybe new age brands and also some legacy brands which have, like shifted towards the digital part very easily and efficiently? And what's the biggest factor you believe as a marketeer?
So as a marketer, like there is a drastic change. Like there were no brands were marketing online. but like this year I have seen like every brand trying to get online
Hmm.
after like Amazon coming in, and like Nykaa being one of the most recognized website for shopping.
Yeah,
So those were like nothing. Like in 2016, they were like nothing, and now they are like one of the key players in the market. So
absolutely.
so I have seen like nothing from like they are like million earning in millions and billions, like making profit.
Absolutely. So, what's been one factor that has contributed to them? Because, a lot of brands are coming up,
See,
but then to succeed in the market, what has been one of the go-to marketing strategy for all these big brands that have succeeded in the digital age?
so they have tried to like all brands which are trying to not just sell the product, sell the story. So
Hmm.
which brands are selling the story in the right manner, they are succeeding, and some brands are like still on the strategizing part, so they might not be reach the right audience. So they have to try to get the human factor, which is important for the marketing part. If you are not touching the end audience, your marketing is waste of like money.
Absolutely. So, Mihir, according to you, what have been some of the biggest marketing trends in 2019, and also even like not even just in marketing, but also since you're a designer as well. So, what's been some of the biggest trends in marketing as well as visual design, which are also gonna carry over to the next year? We
So
can expect them to grow over the next year also.
for like quite amazing marketing materials or the trends,
Mhm.
there are few brands which are like building the trends. There's Swiggy, there's Zomato. They are building the trends in the market.
Absolutely.
And for the bigger, there's Ford, the car company, and then the nowadays Tesla is quite in like fame due to the complicated design of the truck. You might
Absolutely.
be aware of.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, like, if you are doing something different, you will reach the audience no matter what. So, there's also one company, Durex. They are like creating amazing creatives on their Instagram profile, and
Absolutely.
and for the UI UX part, there are many big brands who like if you just go to the Parleji website,
Hmm.
they have like drastically changed it. But for Amul, it is not like the website is still very old style design, but their
Hmm.
Instagram page is up to the mark. So there are
Hmm.
many brands who are coming up with various ideas. For example, there was one shark creative which went viral on social media due to the 3D modeling. So there
Hmm.
are many ads which are there. There were trends like the arrow trend which went viral recently.
Yeah.
So there are many trend setters in the market.
And as per you, how can businesses and growing brands leverage specifically data analytics and the big data and data analytics to build upon a positive brand image for themselves?
So like they like nowadays brand are try should try to rely on artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is the next big thing. If you don't do the big data analysis, you are missing out on lot of things, because data analysis is something which will help your brand to recognize the customer behavior. Once you recognize the customer behavior, you can act accordingly. Like you can deliver things to those individual customers. You
Hmm.
might had heard of this brand known as Cambridge Analytica, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
which was responsible for the Brexit, like Britain exit, and for the Trump election. They were
yeah.
responsible to change the trend. Like they, using the data, they created the scenario where Trump won the election without even like doing much, and they were creating negative image about this the opposite candidate, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
So data is like a big game nowadays.
So
That company just shut down, but that is another scenario.
yeah. So, do you think like some companies that are indulging in the misuse of data and even AI for marketing purposes? So, do you think that is something that is going to be feasible over the next, say, 5 years or so, or is it a continuously declining trend?
I think so. It will be feasible around like government is trying to make laws, but those laws are not up to the mark. Like you cannot stop someone from stealing your data. Your data is already on the internet. So
Absolutely.
if someone is good at coding or someone is good at extracting data, your data can be extracted from anywhere.
Absolutely.
So data, you like your if you are on the internet, you don't have a right to have a privacy.
It's basically like you have given your, access to your life to these digital organizations, like
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Yeah, Facebook is taking your data. He's one of the key player. He's now like having many legal actions in United States, but still he's the biggest player. Google has your data. Like if you just search for something, they will try to like if you are trying to buy a shoes or mobile, so they will
Mhm.
keep showing you the relevant ads.
Yeah.
So they are like taking your data of search, and they will start delivering you the similar search suggestions.
Absolutely. So, Mihir, as you talked about AI, so there's also been some talk going around of, many roles across organizations being taken over by AI eventually. So, like in the next 10 to 15 years, because automation is going to happen, and that is going to happen on a really big scale. So, how do you think in such a scenario where, say, someone like a marketeer like you is gonna work on all these things, and
So
there's this automation thing happening, and then eventually if your job is being done by the machine, so how can someone avoid that situation?
So like there's nothing to fear about the AI because at the end of the day, the results are like AI will generate some results, but you have to take the end level action. So
Absolutely.
like human element is always important. So there
Mhm.
will be some drastic changes in the job, but if you are quite capable with the AI and all the stuff, like you if you have the right skills, your job will never go, like your business will never run down if you have the right skills.
Also, it's more like provide if you provide the human touch, as they say it, in your work, then ultimately it's gonna not get replaced by AI in the next
Yeah.
whatever time is there.
So AI, like AI or let it be any technology, it will not replace human. It is there to help out human.
Yeah.
So this is a, I believe this is a misconception like AI will take away our jobs or this thing will vanish our job. It will ultimately create jobs because there will be some uh, human beings required with the efficient skill to update those AIs or to run those AIs. So job generation will keep on going.
Absolutely. So, according to you, Mihir, which platforms do you personally think have the highest potential in terms of, being good platforms for digital storytelling and marketing?
For digital storytelling, I think so. LinkedIn is a good platform.
Hmm.
YouTube is a good platform, and nowadays Instagram is quite booming up. So
Yeah,
those are few good platforms. Like there are other individual websites or platforms available, but podcast is also a good medium to reach out to the because after radio, the podcast is the next big thing
absolutely.
because nobody wants to sit on YouTube and watch the video. Like everyone likes to listen.
Yeah. So, Mihir, I had this question in mind. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, in India, we have a lot of stuff, like cringy stuff going on TikTok, but it's one of the biggest platforms that that has potential for massive growth. So, what's your opinion on that? Like,
So in like last month, TikTok just introduced something called as EduTalk. So
yeah,
now, just to clarify their image to be like there were some legal actions because there was some pornography content and some like illegal content available on the platform.
Hmm.
So just to clarify that and just to better their own image, they have started this platform as EduTalk on TikTok itself. So now
Yeah.
they are trying to be more professional network, but hopefully they like what they are thinking they can achieve it or not. I am not sure, but they are trying to do something good.
Yeah.
Like there are like it at the end it depends on the what to say masses. Like if they want TikTok to be the shitty kind of network, it will be. But they are trying to improve themselves. Let's see what happens because I'm not sure about TikTok will be a good social media network or not because the type of content which is produced now is not up to the mark or it's kind of what to say low level content.
Yeah. But isn't it like the same scenario as YouTube in its initial days? Because in the initial days, YouTube also had this thing where a lot of people had finally had an outlet for, exploring their creativity and all. And then I guess the same thing is happening maybe with TikTok as well.
Yeah, like now they are investing some billion amount of value to TikTok just to promote education,
Yeah.
and later on they can come up with various things. But I'm not sure. At the end of the day, it is an Chinese company, so we never trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as per you, Mihir, how much of a role does personal branding play in the life of an entrepreneur? Because even you're an entrepreneur, so how has personal branding specifically for you worked over the years in getting your name out there in the market and then it getting talked about a lot?
So like for my brand, it has always been the brand name with me.
Yeah.
So like if someone requires a designer or animator or a marketer, so they will tag me and my brand. So
Hmm.
as of now, like me and my brand both are known the same.
Hmm.
But I think so personal branding is quite important nowadays. Like organizations should have a face, the peop on which people trust. So like for example, Tata's had Ratan Tata's, then the Reliance Group have Ambani's or Adani's, the guy Mukesh. So there is some amount of trust on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
The face is important.
How do you think this thing can be like personal branding can be leveraged by small scale businesses, say for someone who's doing a business in the field of manufacturing and all, and then they are trying to build a brand outside in the digital world. So how can those like lesser known brands do this thing?
So like they should start providing value to the what to say the audience which they have. Like they should show what they are doing at their work life, how willingly they are working on their self, and they should also try to show like nowadays it is all about showing like what's the process. It's all about storytelling. If you
Absolutely.
show your story in the right way, people will connect to you.
Absolutely. So, Mihir, what other traditional sectors do you think are currently lacking because of the lack of proper brand or value communication? What are some of those brands which have not really adapted into the digital age and might be they could do better with even trying to communicate a bit more value in terms of how they go about their digital strategy.
So like I personally feel like there are very less known brands doing bad, but I
Hmm.
think so the Tata Group can improve themselves because they are doing great things, but they are not marketing those things at a level which they should.
Do
So
you
they
think that is also one reason, maybe that Geo, even the Reliance Industries don't have a digital presence as such, but then they have this Geo thing going on where they're like
yeah.
pretty active. So, how could Ratan Tata or maybe even the Tata Group work on this thing and just put their value out there?
Yeah, so like they are donating like the amount of money which nobody can donate.
Yeah.
So, but those things like they are well-known brands, so some brands don't need marketing, I think so. Those brands are like, I don't need marketing. People know about me due to my work. So those are like value-driven companies, and some companies like which are getting quite famous are market-driven or trend-driven companies.
Absolutely, absolutely. But don't you think, say, like in the coming generations, if at all, like this is a scenario in my head. If at all, maybe say your kids are there and they ask you what Tata Consultancy Services is, or maybe what the Tata Group is, and then they don't have, because absolutely moving over like the next 15 to 20 years we are going to have a much more wider internet usage base. So how do you think like would this scenario be very good for them as in the
No,
Tata Group?
no, I don't think so. It will be good for them. Like they should start creating videos. Like they have some videos, activities going on, but they are not publishing it on the web, or they have their internal communication. But they should start communicating outside the internal communication. They should try to publish videos about the process going on, what they are doing, the value which they are creating ads, but it's not reaching out to the audience, the broader audiences.
Absolutely. So
For
Mihir, according to you, which are the current Indian startups that are doing great in terms of the digital strategy, apart from say like Swiggy or even say like Zomato?
so Oyo is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Amul is doing great in the digital part because they are creating those banners, like whatever activity is going on, they make a banner about the same.
Absolutely.
There will be the Amul girl, and she will say something or do something. There's kind of creative ads.
Absolutely. So, is according to you, influencer marketing a long-term strategy for brand success? Because, say, even a lot of people in the YouTube community or even the influencer community are saying that they need to build businesses apart from their digital presences. So, is it like betting on influencer marketing for the long term a viable strategy for all these businesses out there, or even say like e-commerce brands?
So like influencer marketing is booming quite a lot, but now like there is one scenario like nobody is taking care of. So those influencers or those so-called influencers try to buy followers on various platforms. So at the end of the day, they don't have much amount of engagement. Like I have seen many big influencers having 2% or 1% engagement ratio.
Hmm.
The amount of followers they have and the likes which they are getting on their feed is like drastic difference. There's a drastic difference. Only 1% or 0.01% is the engagement ratio. So I don't think so. Influencer marketing will work for the masses, but it will work for the what to say the classes. Which, for example, Virat Kohli has the highest engagement ratio
Absolutely.
in India as compared to any other influencer. There are some good
Absolutely.
influencers which brands can trust them and invest their money than to investing on 100 influencers which don't provide good value.
Absolutely.
So I think so it will be good to be an influencer, and it can be a long term game or long term business scenario, but it purely depends upon the individual. It purely depends on the influencer. For example, Bhuvan Bham does great. Like he don't do like daily deals or what to say. He will just have one monthly deal, which will be more what to say costlier than 10 influencers doing 10 deals.
Absolutely. So, according to you, Mihir, do you think that this influencer marketing thing, or even say like the YouTube thing that is going on, like the YouTube economy, as they say it, is not gonna be a sustainable option for creators moving forward?
Yeah, like they have like nowadays, like everyone is trying to have multiple source of income.
Yeah,
So the single, like you never know when your YouTube channel is going down. Like if something went wrong on the YouTube channel or one video is disliked by the community, so people will start what to say unsubscribing you and unfollowing you from everywhere. So it purely depends on what you are doing on and what scenario it is. So everyone is trying to like, for example, a beer bicep. He owns his own YouTube channel
yeah,
as well as he has started an influencer management agency. So
yeah,
this is the secondary income for him.
yeah,
For example, me, like I am having my blog, which is the primary income. Then we have this marketing agency, Illustrake. This is the
yeah.
income source, and we have applications on Play Store, which is also an income source for us. So businesses like people tend to get multiple income source, which they can. We also earn from YouTube, so there are multiple sources which generate income for us. So it's better to have multiple source income as compared to depending on one platform.
Absolutely. Are you like guys working with any YouTubers, say, at any scale of the spectrum?
So I have like worked with two, I think so, two YouTubers. One is Satish Kushwaha. He is
Hmm.
the guy who owns 5 YouTube channel buttons.
Yeah.
The only guy in India who has 5 YouTube channel buttons, like
Okay.
the 5 gold play buttons.
Yeah.
And there's one singer from Punjab which we are managing. Her name is Simran Keys. So she's a singer, quite famous, I think so. She has the blue tick all over the internet, the
Okay.
accounts, verified accounts, and
Hmm.
she's quite famous. So we are managing her profile too.
Okay. Okay. So, in your opinion, moving forward, like if you had to tell this thing to maybe your younger brother or even your younger self, what would be the 5 key skills for a college goer today or even a teenager to master if they wish to become great marketeers and designers in the next 2 to 3 years or so?
So, firstly, I will tell them to concentrate on the skills, not on the degrees or certificates. Certificates will get you a job, but won't uh, won't get you a certain level of dignity or what to say the payroll. If you have a certificate, you can get a job easily, but if you have sets, you will get the amount of pay you want, the lifestyle you want to live. You can own it if you have skills.
Absolutely, it's
This is
more
the
like if you have the skills, then if say you're working with a startup or even a legacy company, and if at all you lose your job, like God forbid if that happens, so then people could also venture out on their own and even earn from the freelancer or the gig economy.
Yeah, either if the business stops or something went wrong, so you can always like people will know you and they will know your skill, they will value your skills, so they will definitely hire you. If like something went wrong, you can easily get hired by someone, or you can work from those freelancing platforms.
Yeah.
And there are like lot of opportunity available in the market, but you just have to be the right person they want.
In terms of communicating your value and the brand that you have to maybe even the customers or say someone who's willing to avail your services, what would be the 5 key domains in your opinion that are gonna be something that's gonna have a lot of demand moving forward?
So like in India, that now we have those this startup culture going on.
Yeah.
So maybe branding, the complete branding stuff, logo
Hmm.
designing, UX, UI, then website development, designing. The second thing will be the 2D animated videos, and we are also into SEO and social media marketing. So SEO is for the long term, what to say, game. If you are ranking on certain keywords, you will be definitely like the startup can easily succeed.
Absolutely. And Mihir, what are some of the must-have tools that a digital marketer or a designer should have in their armory so that they stand out from the crowd?
Uh, for digital marketers, I think Google has itself has provided all the tools which are required. But other than that, you can go for SEMrush, HREF, BuzzSumo. There, and you must have Grammarly if at all you are like from Hindi background or what to say single language or other language background, you should have Grammarly.
Yeah.
And for designers, you must have Adobe Illustrator. You must be on the platforms like Behance. Wait a second. I just forgot the names of the. There are various platforms. Dribble, Behance. Yeah, Dribble, Behance. And Instagram is also good for designers. If you know certain hashtag in your domain, you can find inspiration from them. And nowadays, like people are trying to use free tools like Canva. It is also helpful if you are at a what is a beginning stage. It is great.
Absolutely.
But if you are pro or someone like expert, you should try to use Adobe Illustrator or other Adobe tools.
Absolutely. Coming to the end of the podcast, what is the roadmap that you have had for the, like, say, next 3 or 5 years or so for both your companies, like for 3 Indians Media and then also for Illustrake?
So for 3 Indians Media, we are thinking to get at least 30,000 users per day on the blog.
Okay.
On the website, and try to be India's biggest tech blog or tech resource. And for Illustrate, we don't want to go with the masses. We just want to have the classes. Like I want 5 clients which can pay me more than having 100 clients.
Basically, the retainer clients and all.
Yeah, basically the retainer clients. And we also have started this application known as Presetly, which we are working on.
Okay.
So it will be our third company. We are just working on the back end. So it will be an editing app which can be used for editing videos, photos, as well as GIF.
Okay. So it's basically targeted towards non-designers?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the expected launch date or something, like if you could give me a timeline to that?
So by the Feb, we will be launching the app. We have already launched the website and the social media handles are active just to create the buzz. And we will be launching the app in Feb, I think so. If everything goes right, it will be launched in Feb.
Okay. So, Mihir, it was great having you on the podcast, and I believe our audiences had a lot of value to take away from you and from this podcast. And I really hope that whenever the app launches, then it creates the same amount of buzz that say like Illustrake or even 3Indians Media have made in the market. So it was really great having you here on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. And it was pleasure sharing my views on all the topics.